Well, you better come on in because it's Thankful Thursday. We are here. This is the Empowered Morning Show. Ladies, how are you all today?
Blessed and highly favored.
Come on, blessed and highly favored.
Blessed and highly favored.
You didn't hit the bell on that. Good morning, Miss
Oh,
Come on, Sparkle.
yes. Ring that bell.
Break it up, as they say.
Ring that bell. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ring that bell. Yes.
Every day we are blessed and highly favored. We are empowered, knowing that we are walking into every day, claiming the promises. Y'all know, y'all remember seasons ago when Sparkle used to tell us about, how many promises God has for us. And so
only 8,810 of them, and over 7,000 of them have our personal name on it.
Got my name on it, baby. Got my name on it. Yes.
Like, can you think of 100 promises? Think about 8,000 of them. Like, you can't even come up and wrap up in your mind if I needed to do a name it out, 100 of them. And we just see StreamYard. Come on, baby. If nobody else likes
I never see that on anybody else ever. StreamYard is
only. That's that good old favor.
Sparkle is the only one that I ever see StreamYard do a reaction for, ever. In the years we've been doing this, ever.
It's just been Sparkle. That's all. I love it.
God's favorite daughter, y'all.
Just been Sparkle. I would choose to be like all my life, majority of my life, I wanted to be somebody else. To finally understand, I would never, ever want to be nobody else but Sparkle.
She said we look good in our colors, y'all. I love that yellow. Y'all, yellow is my second favorite. Orange is my favorite.
Orange is your favorite.
Yes, right? I like that bright, boldest, baby, where you like rise and shine. Bam! I need sunshine in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, good morning, sunshine.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good
morning, Phyllis. Patricia it's Patricia that's out in the streets this week.
Out there in Alaska, baby.
Out in the streets. She's in the Alaskan streets.
Out in the streets, selling the ocean. Yes.
That's
beautiful. Yes, I'm sure that's
beautiful. Let me sell on.
Sell on. Yes. So y'all know that yesterday we were talking about emotional intelligence, talking about really how you get to a certain place in your life where you start realizing that, I don't want to tolerate the same things that I used to. And I don't want to be caught up in drama. I just want to, as you get older, I think you embrace peace more. You embrace, not having to be caught. Like, don't call me with that. I don't want to be tied up with that. I don't really even want to hear all the mess and the drama and what. I don't really care to look at all that. That's why I don't even really look at the news, honestly. I mean, probably the closest I get if I'm scrolling on social media and see something, but I don't even know if it's gonna rain or is it? I'm not even looking for that, baby. Whatever it is, I'm just like, I'm looking at the window.
Whatever
surprise me
happens.
Yeah. Either way, I'm good. You know what helps me with that? because anytime we got the laptop or on the desktop, it always tells me at the bottom of the screen, like if it's like it says sunny and 54.
yeah.
But I'm looking at it now saying the devil is a lie, because I feel like it is 85 degrees outside in here, so I know it's not 54 outside. Can't be.
What you say can't be.
It can't be.
It can't be.
It
I'm
can't
telling
be.
you. And the older you get, the hotter life gets. Like the temperature just is different.
Girl, I be about to blow
Like
over
80 is 100 immediately. Everybody but Natasha. Natasha wants,
she want to be outside in the sun.
She want to be out in
like
the 100
charcoal.
degrees.
Yeah, she want to be
That's
like
why
charcoal.
I was like, I want to go to the beach with Tasha, but she want to go during the day. I want to go at night.
Doris. Yeah.
I love being outside, being at the beach. I like being outside at the beach at nighttime. It's beautiful, but I'll take it any day, daytime, nighttime.
Okay, we can do this, but I'm not out there in no Florida heat.
Oh yeah, we're not good. Miss George, I'm about to have a hot flash. Miss George, you know what I feel like? Honestly, I think all women should go to heaven because God gives us hot flashes.
We should get a pass.
Yeah, we should get a pass, baby. We got to deal with a hot flash. Now, ain't no need of us going to hell. What we going to hell for? We already got to eat.
No, why can't you can't even be in the bathroom and doing your hair and your makeup without the heat just comes about like
it seems like it be running to you. It be seem like it be like, hey friend, let me get on you.
I haven't seen you today.
And I be trying to say, no.
Like, why is the bathroom so hot? It's like the hottest area
girl,
of the whole
I promise you. Oh, wait, baby. They say steam is good for your skin, but you know what? They miss me. I'm good.
Now I know what the you remember, like, she always hot. Let the showers rain. Telling somebody about
to embrace cold water. They say cold water. Miss Phyllis said, yes, I have to grab my peroxide.
No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, the best investment that we can do is fans. The best thing that they came out was those portable fans.
That's what you talking, the personal fan, yeah.
Yes. I have one in my purse, in my car, in my bathroom. Like, they everywhere.
Girl, we just say, look, you okay? Don't mind me, baby. I'm just over here trying to get cool. Just trying to get. Look, I don't need it because I like it when it's hot and I want to be outside. And
I am from the Caribbean. I am a tropical baby. I don't, even in my house, the minute it hits 69 degrees in my house, it's a wrap. I'm either in sweats or I'm turning that up. So my daughter came over yesterday and I had it turned up to 74. She goes,
74?
You said you got to do what, Natasha?
I said I had to turn it up to 74 because it was so cold in my house. It was raining and I got rained on, so I was cold. So I moved from 69 to 74. She walks in the house, yes, and she goes, what is happening? She goes, did your AC break?
Right.
Yeah,
you need to call her head. Like, what is really going on here?
You need to call HVAC.
Yes, talking about it immediately. Look,
yes. I went to stay at my niece's house for graduation, and her house was so hot, y'all. Alexia and I both woke up at
girl, I know y'all woke up in the middle of the night like, girl, we got to pack up and leave.
We were supposed to stay 2 nights. We stayed that one night, and we was like, it's a wrap. We are going home. My other little niece woke up and said, I just woke up in hell.
Because, girl, it's not crazy, but you know what? Men, to me, are the opposite. Like, most men about to freeze, girl. And I look at
they are always cold. Wait, baby, do me and I have an iron problem?
Cut the air down up Natasha to 70 something. I was like, girl, as soon as he go to sleep, we're gonna put it back down to 69, girl. He'll freeze tonight. Yeah.
They always cold.
Thin skin. Yes. Why?
And they cannot take water. They need cold water too. Like that water is hot. What is like? It's the
I
total
don't,
opposite.
I don't know what it is, but
We need
baby,
that their emotions to get lined up
that's why we have
because
to have emotional intelligence about, how we.
I can't look. I can get my emotions together about all things, but that heat
Except
is
he,
no.
Natasha, I promise you, Sparkle's at 56 in her house, really.
It's
I
really
guess
not.
Sparkle and I would not be having sleepover or
No,
you
we
know.
would
Miss
no,
Brenda,
not
that's
even
what we was just
sleepovers. I'm
saying.
not even coming to visit you.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get a hotel because we're not staying with Natasha, baby. Listen,
No.
get up in there, Brenda. Miss Brenda said, I don't know what be going on. Sometimes I be hot for no reason. Miss Brenda,
But
I think
no,
God should
like
give us all,
you
no
just
woman
sit
should go to
there.
hell. We should all go to heaven because we experiencing hot flashes. And if you're gonna experience it here, no need to go anywhere else and get it.
And then when you try to go be nice and go cook, oh my gosh, that cooking is another kind of heat.
Miss Doris talking about it make it hard for the intimate moment. You hot and I'm cold.
Which one do we supposed to step in? Hey, Miss Brenda, miss you. Yes,
Yes,
but
baby,
let's
so
get
cute.
in order and stop talking about the good old hot. And
Okay,
because
let's talk about the
it's June.
motivation then, Natasha. When we talk
We're
about
gonna talk about some good motivation so that we can give the people what they're
Well,
supposed to.
when you get really hot, it motivates you to get cold. So, or to stay cold.
Absolutely.
hey, beautiful
So
Absolutely.
people.
so yesterday when we talked about emotional intelligence, we spent some time talking about the importance of being self-aware and knowing and recognizing your triggers, knowing how you're feeling. We also talked about the importance of regulating those emotions. So first we need to be aware and identify how we're feeling. That's the first step. Second step is we've got to learn to regulate the emotions. Why? Because without knowing how you're feeling and your inability to regulate your emotions, that allows us to be very impulsive, very obsessive, very compulsive, and it pushes us into the emotions drive the behavior of being reactive. You don't think before you speak, you don't think before you act. Somebody
Mm,
does something and you just get reactive to it. And that's just not healthy because at the end of the day, what you're basically doing non-verbally is you're telling or allowing someone else to control your emotions. You're basically saying that I got mad because you did blank, or I am frustrated, or I am, irritable because of you. Well,
mm-hmm,
like I said this yesterday, nobody is that powerful to make you feel some type of way. You
Mhm.
have all the power to choose and decide whether you want to react and whether you
mm-hmm,
want to feel that way. So, in order to do that, you have to be self aware about your feelings. And then you have to be able to learn on how to regulate through healthy coping mechanisms on how to cope with those feelings. So, the latter two things we want to talk about today is motivation and empathy. And Sparkle talked about empathy, so we're going to leave that one for last. She brought that up yesterday. So
Natasha,
motivation,
before you go through that, I want to recap a little bit because I know that yesterday when we were talking, just for anybody who may be on here, two things. When we're talking about emotional intelligence, why it matters. Because number one, you're going to have a stronger marriage or stronger relationships when you can be emotionally
it
intelligent.
makes you better as a
It makes
person.
you better, exactly. Better communication because when you don't just nut up and start going off on somebody, when you can control that, and when you can listen to other people before thinking about how you're going to respond, because your response is not. You need to take your time and make sure that you're understanding what is being communicated to you so that you can communicate back effectively. Improve leadership skills when you are emotionally intelligent, greater self-awareness, because we all need to step into being just more aware of who we are, what we need, the triggers, all those things. Reduce conflict and stress, and y'all know this is as we are getting older, you start hearing so much about, we were talking about just in this age, how anxiety is like a buzzword for everybody. It's so much anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I didn't really hear about people being anxious. Maybe I was in because we were in church all the time. The word says be anxious for nothing. Maybe that's why I didn't hear it. But that's about as
That
far
was
as
a
I heard
word that you
anxious.
knew not to use.
That's the only
Church
thing.
or not in church, it was not a feeling word. When you ask people how they felt, that was not the first thing that
Yes,
came out
Yeah.
of
nobody said
someone's mouth.
I'm anxious. Yeah, I never heard
How are you
anxiety.
today? I'm anxious.
Yes,
Like
yes, there was nothing that
I can just see my grandmama's face now when I turn
anxious.
around and say I'm anxious, and she's
Anxious
like,
about
"You
what?
anxious? What? Maybe it's
What?
the ants on you or something? It's something crawling on you."
Ms. Brenda said, emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, manage, and use emotions to reduce stress, communicate
Communication.
effectively, and empathize. Miss Brenda, you better come on in with the information, empathize with others. Farika said, right, it's like all the time now, you do hear people talk about being anxious. And so we want to talk about the emotional intelligence because it offers you better decision making and it increases resilience during difficult times. And so we thought this would be a good topic to talk about because we all need to manage our
Mm-hmm.
emotions, because I was reading somewhere where it says emotional intelligence is a superpower because
That's
it allows you
that
to be in control.
is.
And when you see it like that, then you understand before I allow you to take my control, let me control myself.
Yep.
And that's where the power lies.
And the power, when you utilize that power, you're so proud of yourself because I utilized my power. See, I could snap back at you. I could, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna decide that that's not.
Well, that falls on the motivation, and I think of motive. What would be my
Mm-hmm.
motive to snap back at you? Like, what am I going to
Yeah.
gain for
What
snapping
am
back
I
at you?
gaining from that?
Right? It takes two people, or more than two, to create conflict. Right? It's a difference of opinion and or an argument. If I don't engage in an argument with you, you're going to be standing there fighting by yourself. And that's not fun because you're not going to want to stand there and talk to yourself and yell at yourself. You want somebody to yell at, right? So it's learning to not engage and always ask yourself, what is your motive for reacting the way that you do? And so and that checking your motive is the motivation that we're talking about. Staying focused on what is the true purpose here? Like, what am I really trying to achieve? Am I trying to create a divide between this person and I? Am I looking for a fight? Because if we're really being honest, and I know I was like this when I was younger, I wish somebody would look at me sideways. I wish you would look at me the wrong way because it just
What is
justified
that?
why I wanted to be graphic.
So I can get you.
Give me a
Correct.
reason to shut up. Give me a reason.
Get
Absolutely.
you good. Just a half. What you say? What you looking over here for? But you know what, Natasha? For a lot of people, understanding that is really important because most people want the last word.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna make sure somebody, like, okay, so what you gonna do? You gonna jump? Okay, so I'm gonna draw a line in the sand, cross it if you want to. We're so, ready to be combative. And I think I was mentioning maybe last week, things in society in our world now, especially for our children, is designed for everybody to be so aggressive. When we look at the music,
Yes.
music is so
Yeah.
aggressive. When you look at the video games they play, everything is so
It's so
aggressive. It's like society rewards aggressiveness, but when
yeah.
you're
Cause
emotionally
the more
intelligent,
aggressive you are,
yeah.
the more likes you get, the more followers
Mhm,
you get
mhm, mhm.
because of aggressive. And that's in every category, not just every part of life. Now she aggressive girl. She like that. That's a oh. Let's get with her. Let's follow her.
Yes, yes, yes. And this right here is really good because even in the aggression, even in the wanting to be right, even in trying to have the last word, even in, okay, so you gonna make me feel some type of way because we talked about yesterday the signs that you need to grow in emotional intelligence, and one of those things is frequent emotional outbursts or difficulty accepting feedback or
Hmm.
constantly taking, because we all know somebody, every time somebody says something, you taking it personal.
Yes.
It's
Like everything is to the heart. Oh,
yes.
I don't like your shoes. Okay. Like,
And now you swollen mad because they don't like your shoes. So
yes,
now you don't even
like
want to go with them anymore. You just like, girl, y'all can go ahead. I'm not gonna go.
now,
So
now
So
you're
hold
talking
grudges.
about even in your conversation, girl. You know she had a nerve to tell me she didn't like my shoes.
so
Why is
we
that
have to.
even a topic? Like that should not stick with you. It's some things that should just immediately roll off of you.
But the reason why it's not rolling off is because the reason why we struggle with emotional intelligence is because there's an emotional deficit, right? The opposite of that, there's this emotional deficit due to unresolved trauma, chaos, and or dysfunction. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole purpose of this conversation that we started yesterday, so for our listeners and for our viewers, is realizing the importance of healing for real,
Hmm.
right? We've been talking about it all season, and I know that there's a lot of people out there like, well, I'm fine. Yeah, I might have had that trauma. Or, yeah, I might have had a tough life, but I'm not there now. So there's no, not to worry about it. And the reality is you need to worry about it because a lot of what you've been through that you have not addressed or you've not dealt with has led to emotional deficiency.
Hmm.
It has led to, and a lot of people aren't going to like this word, but it's the truth. You're emotionally immature. You
Yeah.
have not developed emotionally.
Ooh. And that's where they take personal offense.
Emotional immature.
When you tell somebody they're emotionally immature, that is when they take it personal. And
Of
that's
Hmm.
when they
course.
can't release the grudges because nobody wants to be associated with immaturity. However, like Author Brenda says, see, if I stay, it might go in another direction. So I choose to walk away. You have to create boundaries even with yourself.
What we call it
And
the
that's
hula
maturity.
hoop. You better stay in that hula hoop. Don't
Yes.
don't
Yep.
come in my hula hoop. This hula hoop belongs to me.
Yep.
But
and
but
I
that
and I have to control what comes in my hula hoop. Like she was saying, the boundary. I have the control of what comes into my personal hula hoop. So I can't take it personal because now I have put something in my hula hoop that does not belong to me.
and it's like, it's like, so I have the I hate flies. And y'all know, especially them buzzing flies, like they come right, and you just like, oh my God, it's such a nerve wracking. Like it makes you want to just, I can give it, if I can just snatch it and get
You
it
want
and
to knock it
squeeze it,
out.
I do it. But when you allow things to get into your hula hoop, into your personal space, to where it affects, like if a fly comes around me, like I'm totally distracted. Like I'm like, oh, I got to get something to kill this. I can be in the
I
middle of
can't
doing
even
something, I need to
function yet.
finish it.
Hold on. Let me.
I can't even get my thoughts together because it's like every time I hear the buzz, I'm trying to figure out where is it at. Let me find something so I can kill it.
Hmm.
That is what happens when you allow someone else's
Great
uh,
analogy. Great
thing to
It
get
analogy.
into
is.
your circle to where you can't think, you can't function. It's always the conversation, well, he did this, or he did that, or I just can't stand him. And girl, he had the nerve of this, and this. When you allow other people's actions to take you off course and change how
You lose your focus off of yourself. You lose your focus off of
yes,
being able to be in control of your own thoughts and your
Hmm.
own feelings. Because
yes,
now I'm fixated on your behavior. I'm fixated on what you're doing. I'm fixated on what you're saying. And in that moment, when I shift my focus onto you, what
mhm,
people aren't realizing is you're releasing power.
Yes.
It's not a control
every
thing for
single
you. It's
time.
a power thing for you,
Yes,
right?
right.
When you have
That's
power,
good.
that's where your self-worth, that's where your self-esteem, that's where your self-confidence comes from. You are giving that away every time you
Mm,
keep your focus on what the other person's doing, right?
mm.
And so when you give away your power and they have all of your power, now they control you. So you're
Which
doing
Because
it to
now
your
you're empty.
yeah, and you're doing it to yourself. So early when I forgot her name, I'm sorry, but the author just mentioned about having boundaries for yourself. That's what boundaries are about.
yeah.
Boundaries are not, I say it all the time, boundaries are not a set of rules. They're
It's
not
not for others.
guidelines. They're not a punish and reward system. They are for you to say, this is my hula hoop. This is what I choose to build that I can manage in here, and everything else doesn't belong to me. You get
Yeah.
to choose that. And a lot of us really we dismiss
But
and
that's the part,
overlook.
Natasha, slow down. Just that's the part that we are really trying to get everybody to understand. You control that. That's yours.
Mhm,
It's all yours.
mhm.
Nobody can come borrow it. They can't come utilize it for, let me use it for a day or two.
Mhm.
No, you
Agree.
cannot have it. It belongs to us. And we're givers. We give, give, give. We need something of our own. We
And then we
need,
get mad. Then we get mad when they disrespect us, or we get mad when they do something to us. But in line of what you're saying, I just made a decision without even realizing that I'm giving my power away. It's really not their fault that they took it from me.
no,
I allowed them to
because
take
you
it from
said,
Right.
me.
here you
Because she
go.
gave you an open
Because
arm, with
I
open
gave
hands,
birth.
like,
I
here,
just,
you can have it.
there
But
you
then
go.
when you're manipulated, you have a problem. When somebody
Hmm.
else is trying to control you, you
You
have a
have a
problem.
problem.
But you don't realize that you have released all control to them for them to do that. Because when you
Yep.
become self-aware, people can manipulate you.
Yeah.
When you establish
Facts.
boundaries, people can't control you. And
Facts.
so you're, like Miss Brenda said, my personal space is mine. And you have to honor that and respect that for yourself, because that's your job. It's nobody
It's
else's
yours.
say that, oh, well, let me respect her privacy. Let me respect this, that, and the other, because people want to know. People are nosy and in control, and they want to know. And as long as you tell them, if somebody says, well, Sparkle Girl, what happened over there? What happened to you? And you start saying, well, then when you say they go tell somebody else, now you mad. But if
Nate, why
And
you
you
mad?
opened
You
the
freely
door.
told them.
the door, you freely gave it
And
up.
that whole mess that I'm gonna tell you something, but you can't tell nobody. Look, that's so immature. That is like the most immature part of, because you shouldn't be telling anything that you, if you don't want it told,
If you
And
don't
yeah, if
care,
you don't want other people to know about
if
it,
you don't want
keep your
nobody
mouth
else to
shut.
know,
keep
that
your
means
mouth
you
shut.
and God. You and God
Look,
need to
Yeah.
keep it
look,
right here.
like, do y'all remember Barney Fife used to, like, he used to do that little lock thing and throw away the key?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Andy Griffith, yeah, he's like, look, let
And
me
that's
lock this
even
up.
in those personal friendships. Like, so you have
Mhm.
a group of friends, it's three of them, right? So if it's me, Angela, and Tasha, if I'm okay, oh Tasha, I'm gonna tell you something, but you can't tell nobody. You can't tell nobody. But then she goes and tell Angela, okay, so she just went and told another person. So now here comes another opinion. You already have two opinions, right? And your opinion and your opinion. Now you have all this in your ownership. You have all these, because you know people. Well, I'm just gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you, girl. You
Mhm, they
shouldn't be
do.
getting yourself in that. I love you too much to let you fall like this. So now I have her in my ear. I have her in my ear, and I have myself in my ear.
And
Somebody,
then let's take it further. So you told Natasha, don't tell me. Natasha told me, well, you didn't tell me not to tell anybody. So I done told my husband, I told my girls, I done told somebody. You know,
You told the neighbor. You told the neighbor while you were
girl,
outside.
girl, my friend told me our other friend is over here, girl. I'm just like,
now your whole don't tell nobody.
yeah.
It's
And
over.
everybody's like, it's that. So look, when we all get together for a little event, is that the girl you was telling me
Is that,
about?
you know,
Mm-mm.
that's that girl.
Mm-mm.
That's her. Like, what?
And that's Stu's gossip, right?
Yeah.
That's Stu's
Yeah.
gossip amongst your friend circle. And again,
And what about when it get back to you? Because you know the whole thing is it don't supposed to get back to you, right?
Right. Oh,
But then
oh,
it
bring this back.
circles back around.
It circles back
and you
around.
learn that what you told that one person, now 10 people know about it.
Then
And you don't know everybody that
Natasha,
knows
nothing
yet.
else.
You don't even know yet. You
Yeah.
don't know how many investments you have in this property because only that one person told you. How much more investment? Because we have big mouths. Like we don't sometimes we don't know how to shut up.
Rika said, all that gossiping, baby. Arthur Brennan said, when you release that type of information, it gets tainted. It does.
Yes,
It
that's
does.
a good word for it. It's
It
tainted.
does.
It's tainted.
I think of the game telephone when you start the story with one
And then you
person,
got to
and by
tell
the
everybody.
time you get to person number 10, it is so different than the first person that got the message. And you're like,
Yeah.
Well, so said that y'all so far from the original story, it doesn't make sense.
Yes, that's
Again,
why I tell people, let me tell my own story. Like if you want to know something about Sparkle, first if I want to tell you, I will. If I desire to, but I might not desire to tell you and tell you that is none of your.
Well, I'm the kind of person that if I'm gonna tell you, best friend or not, I know that if it gets out there, I'm okay with the world
That
knowing
I'm
about it.
okay with.
Hey, wait a minute. For sure, Farika said, "Get the anointing of shut up, close your mouth." But I'm like you, Natasha. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm
I'm
quick
not
to say, you know,
ashamed
when I
of
say,
any.
well, somebody said, no, I said it. I said it because I own up to it. I don't mind. I'm the
When
person
they
who
used
be
to
like,
do those little
oh,
groups and
yeah,
they're
no,
like,
no, no. I said it.
somebody said, I
Yeah,
said
no,
it.
Yeah, I said
I'm
it.
quick to be like, no, I did because what you gonna do? If I said it, I said it, and it is what it is. You
Facts.
choose to be okay with it or you don't.
But that's emotional intelligence. Like you're not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm taking ownership of what I said. I'm
Period.
taking ownership of the part of the when it got back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't say all that, but I did say.
But I did what I did say was this, and so let's go on and squash it and move forward. But
So
we have a
Natasha,
hard time.
when somebody like somebody something that was secret to me and I shared it with Angela. When they tell it, I know it's gossip. But also, what is that part of me? What is that saying about me?
When someone brings it to you,
Yeah, when I feel like I have to share it with somebody, that part of I have to get it out. I just can't hold it. That hold, like it's some things that people just can't hold. And it's not always the praising God, how God has blessed you. Not that one.
um, I mean, it could be an array of reasons why they feel the need they gotta tell somebody else. I mean,
Is that another part of validation?
I mean, at its core, yeah. I mean, at its core, I'm looking for validation from someone. I'm looking for someone to be in agreement with me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Or
this kind of
you want
ties
to be the
in.
go-to person. You want to be the person now. If you grew up and nobody really paid attention to you, and now you're the person that always brings the gospel and the tea. Now you're in the inner circle. You're the one that everybody like, girl, come on, what did they say? Girl,
Yeah,
Farika
it
said,
brings a. It
Farika
does
said,
feed.
it's
It
called
does
can't
feed.
hold ice water.
It does feed the need for attention. When you have something going on and you got to go tell your girlfriend and you got to go tell somebody or whatever. Um, because there's a fine balance, in recovery today. I have people that are there to support me when I need it, and so it's learning to. So there's a fine line of learning, like, again, coming back to motive. What's my motive for telling you? Is
yeah,
my motive for telling you because I'm looking for attention, because I'm looking for you to understand me, because I'm looking for you to validate me? Or am I telling you because I just need to talk about it and put it out there, just because I just need to be supported?
Mm-hmm.
There's a fine line in that. Um, I think in the context of what we're talking about, many of us are opening our mouths about things. We're not managing our expectations because we're expecting that when we tell somebody something, that they should hold a secret for us. And that might be a conversation for another day. But one of my boundaries with people is I'm not here to hold secrets. Right? If we are friends, we need to be open enough with everybody. And so if you're going to give me something in private, you have 24 to 48 hours to either tell everybody in the friend group or I'm going to tell it for you. That's
That's
just a
good.
cardinal rule that I have because I am not going to take on that responsibility of carrying somebody's.
you gotta say, look, what you're
She
not
said,
doing
I'm
is
not the
hold me hostage.
keepsake.
I'm not gonna be held hostage with
I'm
this
not the
information.
keepsake. And
Mm-mm.
then every time we together, don't say, I gotta
Because
remember.
here's what happens later on in that same friend circle. Eventually, those individuals find out, they're like, "Oh, so you knew, and we didn't know," and that creates a divide in the
It's
circle.
a
But
whole
yet we're
different level. It is.
yeah,
It
and it's
is.
like we're hanging out
That's
together,
good
but
though.
this one knows this and this one doesn't.
Mhm.
That just gets messy,
And it's
and I just don't.
fluctuating size, because to me it seems like, okay, well, I want you to know because I need you to side with me. Whose side are you on? Are you on her side or my side of the
Correct.
information or the story or whatever? Like, okay, well, you should have told me because you knew. You should have told me whose side are you on? Are you my friend or her friend? Or that's too much. And like Owen
Oh,
said, it's all about keeping it real, and you have to for real. It's too much
Absolutely.
back and forth, and when we're talking about emotional intelligence, emotional maturity, it comes with a level of, as you start getting older, what you did in junior high school, you shouldn't still be doing in your 40s and 50s and
Well,
60s.
you're going to do that if you don't heal, right? If you're going to continue to do that, and we see people 40s, 50s, 60s. Listen, I have some 70-year-olds are sitting on their stoop and they're outside gossiping about their neighbors, right? Like we do that because we have not healed ourselves. We are not aware of ourselves. We are not recognizing how when people do and say things, how it's affecting us. And so we just continue status quo. And I think that's the whole purpose of this conversation is that we become more aware that we don't have to be so reactive. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have to respond to everything that everyone says. The beginning of this year, I made an oath with God or a vow to God to work on not always needing to be understood by others. That was one of my big problems in my early years of sobriety or even in addiction is I want to explain myself to death so you could understand me. And what I learned
Yes,
is that I
yes, yes.
understood by you. I don't have to spend my time explaining myself. I know who I am. I have my boundaries. This is what it is, and we're moving forward. And if you can't move forward with me, then we are not aligned and we are not, called to walk together. But I'm not going to sit here to argue with you and push a conversation with you just so that you can understand me. Right? And that ties into
That's a
our
lot though, Natasha. It takes people a while to get to the place where they are like, I shouldn't have to explain myself to you. If we have been friends for a long time, you should know me. Or if I made a decision to do something, I made the doggone decision to do it, and I'm standing on that. I didn't have
Because
to
at the end
give
of the day,
explanation.
who has to live through the decision? Who's going to have to
correct.
deal with the decision? Who has to deal with the consequences, whether they're good or bad? Who's
Right.
going to have to deal
Exactly.
with them?
Exactly. It's sort of like, you will tell, how we tell kids, that's hot, right? Well, most people have to find out for themselves. It's not too many people that you can tell something to, and then they just take your word for it and go ahead and say, oh yeah, because she said it was hot, I'm not gonna do it. Most people have to say, yeah, let me just see how hot it's hot. Is it hot, or is it just a little hot? Because it
Is
may be
it
hot
just
enough
a
for
little
me to
hot?
hold on to. Maybe she's just a wimp, but it probably ain't all that hot, I'm sure.
And then you end up with a burn for
Then you got
lifetime.
a third degree, and you up in the
That you
emergency
got that
room, and
burn on that. You got that mark on
then
you.
they asking
What?
you, what is that on your hand, girl? I got burned when I
When
was
I was 5, I
that part. But it is the understanding. It is the place, Natasha, where we have to get mature on our own. Like Arthur Brenda said, the answer is that gossip is emotionally rewarding. Oh, on, Author Brenda. It provides people with a sense of power. Some people use this skill to seek approval or attention.
yeah,
Oh, come on. Look.
I agree. I totally agree with that. That they use it for approval or for attention. That
And a sense of power, because you know what, when you tell somebody, girl, I gotta tell you something, well, what is it, so now
and
you
then you can't
control,
even
you're in power,
can't
because
even wait.
wants to come and say, girl, wait a minute, you didn't tell me, girl, I ain't got time right now, girl, come on and just tell me, give
Come
me a little
on,
bit.
just tell what is
You
it
have the
about?
power.
What is it about? Just tell me what is it about.
But I'm glad Natasha said, you have to get to a place where you said, I'm not going through my life seeking to be understood by
I
anybody.
agree. I
I'm
totally
going
agree.
through life, trying to figure out if I say no, having to explain so that you understand, so that you're not mad at me if I say no.
Yeah,
Now
I
here's
just
the
said
tricky
that, Natasha.
now here's the tricky part. While I'm not going to spend my time being understood by you, I do need to understand you well enough to know not to engage in the nonsense.
That
And that is
part.
something that and that is something that we struggle with. They're like, "Oh, so I need to understand you, but you don't need to understand me." And that's a whole other level of maturity
That's
that a
a
lot of us are not
whole
ready for
different
yet.
level of maturity right there.
Yes.
That's a whole different because it's when you understand somebody, you
You move
go
different.
through different things. Even
You
when you
move
have to
different.
tell them something hard,
Yep.
you know how to dice it out to them instead of here you go. Now take it how you want to take it. No. Wait a
Mhm.
minute.
Yeah, it's important for us to understand so that we can have empathy in our conversation. So for instance, somebody is being loud and obnoxious and doing whatever. I don't need to be reactive to you. But if I understand that you're having a rough day, if I understand that you're emotionally unstable, if I understand this is just sort of your the way that you operate, then I move differently by taking a step back and
Mm-hmm.
removing myself from the situation. So it's better for me to understand you. I don't need to stand here for you to understand me. I'm wasting time. I'm wasting energy. I got places to be and things to do and people to
Right,
see,
right.
right?
Yes.
So I don't need that. And I think we have that on the reverse. Many of us are much more focused on I need you to understand me and then not taking the time to understand someone else. And that's where we have so much conflict and so much,
Mm-hmm.
arguing. But and if you think of it as an individual, so I'm going to use Sparkle and myself. Sparkle and I are engaged in a conversation or whatever, or a difference of opinion. If Sparkle took time to understand me without me asking for it, without me seeking it in that interaction, she's like, okay, let me just kind of understand where Natasha's coming from. And then I'm doing the same thing. Sparkle is not seeking it from me, but I'm trying to understand where she's coming from. We are
Mm-hmm.
less likely to get into an argument with each other because we're willing to put our egos to the side, which is
Yep.
another part of emotional maturity, is you need to check your ego at the door
Yeah.
because you are
It
not the
it
end all
just
be all
happened,
in that
Natasha.
interaction.
It just happened. I said, okay, and it was just that okay to make an understanding for myself. Not, I can't, I can't believe you. No, it was the, and you knew it was you. And the comeback was, did you understand what I was saying? Yes, I understood what you were saying. It's done.
That's
It
it.
was. It was.
But for a lot of people, they don't feel like it's done because when you say, okay, now they feel like, oh, so you must not have got how I was trying to say
Now
it.
you're
And
feeling
so
some
that means
kind of
because
way.
I know you're saying, yeah, because now I can tell you feeling some type of way. So the reality is when you don't have empathy, a lot of times what you do is like seeing a fire and you're like, oh, it's burning. Okay, let me put some
Mm,
more lighter fluid on there so it can burn even bigger.
mm.
So that's when you continue that on. So when you say, okay, and I said, so did you understand? You say, yeah, I got it. And then we move on and say, okay, then I'm going to trust you to know that you said you
You
understood.
under
So let's move on. Versus,
Absolutely.
oh,
I'm
so
not
no, no,
I'm
no,
not chasing
no, you
it.
didn't get it.
no.
Then we start getting antagonistic. No, 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 I don't think you got it because
Mhm.
you sound like, because you all in your feelings. See, that's what I'm talking about. I
And
can't
so
That
take
and
part
nothing.
so
there.
yeah,
Now
so
you're
that right
trying
there
to make
though,
it.
that right there is now you're taking time to interpret how you think someone might be feeling and you
Exactly,
didn't even stop
exactly.
to ask the person how they're feeling or and at the end of the day with emotional maturity, you as an individual, if you don't like something, if somebody rubbed you the wrong way, if you're feeling some type of way, open your mouth and have a conversation. Ask that person. Say, you know what?
Or
But
You
what do
said
Natasha,
we
that
what do
thing
we typically
or
do though? We internalize it and then
and
now we're holding grudge.
misinterpret it.
yeah,
Yes.
We
but
But
internalize and
that's
that
what
is
I
your
was
misinterpret.
saying.
feelings and you've taken it personally, which is
Yeah.
meaning
Mhm.
that you have room for emotional intelligence growth.
Correct.
Or what
Sparkle.
about maybe you should check yourself. Like how
Baby, Miss
what
Brenda, check yourself before you wreck yourself, baby. Check.
yeah, what is my temperature today? Like is your temperature, are you already in an emotional state? What is your temperature like? Because you're in an emotional state, now you're going to take what Angela said and now it's personal because you, it's back to who you are.
Coming back to
You,
self-awareness.
awareness. And the second part, stop hanging around people or being in your circle, people that don't have the best for you. So if my
Facts.
circle, I know that they love me, I know that they want the best for me. So I don't have to take it personal because I know it came from a good place. Like,
But that also goes back to healing for real because a lot of things that people say can be triggers for you. And if you're not healed, then you're going to pop off or you're going to assume the worst or you're going to think that they're trying to
that
belittle you
assuming.
or whatever. And the reality is as you start healing from different things, you don't even come in with the same emotional baggage. So
Yep.
therefore, you can be a lot calmer in your responses. You can be a lot more easier to walk away and say, you know what, they doing too much. Let me go ahead and go. It was good to see y'all. I love y'all. Y'all have a good day. And you can say it in a peaceful way and you can move on, because when you start healing for real, everything about you starts to become chill. You're not
Mm-hmm.
rushing, you're not always on 10, because like you say, your emotional climate, when you walk through the door, people can tell sometimes when you have been rushing and you're stressed and overwhelmed. You come through the door like, oh my God, traffic was so crazy. Oh my God. Well, okay, what we got to do over here now? So now you've got everybody chaotic because you brought that chaos in with
Yes. Don't touch my
versus
stuff.
when you're healed, you don't have the same reaction to things. When you're healed for real, you can hear a conversation that when you were back in your mess will have you on 10 just like that. The
Mm-hmm.
same conversation, once you are healed, you can be like, oh, really? Okay.
Hmm. Yep,
That's
and walk
interesting.
away and go
I'm
home
just
and go to
saying.
sleep and
Yes. And be
Oh,
like, well, you know what? I'm going to pray for
take that
them
good
because I
hot
know they're coming.
shower and
Yes.
then
Yeah. Eat you
they
some
call,
good,
girl,
yeah.
I
Eat you
haven't
some
been
good
able to
ice
sleep
cream.
all night
And
long. I've been tossing and turning. Yes, because
I slept well.
we got some sweet sleep over here. But it means that we have got to start looking at the thermostat, which is
yep,
us. We are the thermostat, but you
you
allow
are the
everybody else to
thermostat.
put you into a thermometer situation where
Yeah.
anything else controls you. So they can either make you get hot or make you get cold. But you know that you have the power. And once you understand that, everything relies on you. How
Mm-hmm.
you move, how you act, how you listen, how you
How
talk,
you sleep,
how you, yes, all of those things,
whether
because
you have a headache,
you
your
can
headache.
regulate that. You regulate your level of worry, or level of anxiety, or level of misunderstanding, or level
Yep.
of, wanting to be understood, or pleasing people. All of those things shift and change when you recognize that I control who comes in my circle. I
My
control
hula hoop.
the conversations that I allow myself to be in, and I understand that, you know what, when you're in groups of people, you can choose to leave the group if the conversations are no longer serving you.
You
I
can
think,
leave, and that's
yeah,
even in the DMs. You can leave. You know you can leave, right? You you know that you
They
it's
got a
your
button in there, yeah, a
temperature.
little place in there. You scroll down and hit, boop, leave the group.
Yes, it's a little button that says leave the room.
Yes.
That's but it's back to when you know that you are emotional or you're in a state that you've been rushing all the time. When you pull into where you know you've been trying to get where you get and it's been traffic and everything's been going crazy, take you a moment. Like it take before you walk into another door, take a moment for you and just breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Take you a moment, but sometimes we are in such a hurry that we keep on going, keep on going, and keep on going. And then they wonder why the blood pressure just kept going up and kept going up. Because you never stopped.
I think it's important for us to look at how our connection to people in our lives, because what you connect to is what you'll attract, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm connecting to someone that gossips, if I connect myself with someone who doesn't have boundaries and or respect boundaries, you have to ask yourself, where are you going in life? Because I don't know about you guys, but I like to surround myself with individuals who are successful and who are going places and that can teach me something.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm always looking to level up in my social circle, right?
That's
yeah.
And
good.
that's not a hit on anybody, but the reality is that if I'm in a circle where I'm the only one that's growing and I'm the only one that's maturing, and if I stay in that circle where the individuals are not, then what happens to me over time,
You gonna
right?
start rotting because
Sure.
you just
I'm
sit
gonna
you
be
sit
I'm
in
gonna be
a whole
weakened.
rotten.
Correct. I'm going to be weakened. I'm going to be vulnerable, and I'm not going to continue to grow. I'm not going to continue to elevate myself. So I think it's really important for us to recognize, who, what, and where we're connecting to, and what kind of opportunities does that create for you,
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of a lifestyle does that create for you? Because Angela, you're talking about as you get older. But the reality is, it's not even about getting older. It's about you making a decision at any point in your life, whether you're in your 30s, whether you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, wherever, to say, I don't want to be a part of this.
True.
Mm-hmm.
This no longer serves
It
me
no.
mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and or physically,
Yes.
and I'm choosing to do something different.
Yeah.
Peace doesn't have to come when you're 50 years old plus,
Facts. So
right?
true.
I, I know for myself, I am just a stubborn individual, so it has taken me 50 years to get here, but it doesn't have to take you 50
It does
years,
It
not.
does not.
right?
Because the
And
earlier
it's
that you
something we
get it,
should
the
be
better it is for
teaching.
you.
It's something we should be teaching our children
Right.
now,
Emotional intelligence now.
because they will
Yeah,
be able to have one step ahead of us. Some
absolutely.
of the things that we're dealing with now, nobody ever taught us this. This
Hmm.
was never introduced in our life. So it's our responsibility now to start introducing it to other people's lives. That our grandbabies, our great grandbabies, they should know this now. That
To
I
have
sent
that
that thing.
conversation
Yeah,
about, we talked
I
about the
sent
terrible
that
twos
thing to
yesterday.
y'all yesterday about everybody in the classroom. The teacher said,
Do you
"Y'all
love
love
me?
me," and everybody's like, "Love you." And the little boy
Yes.
said, "The little boy did raise your hand if you love me."
That was
Everybody
cute.
raised their hand,
It
but that
would.
one
But
little boy,
He
that
was
one
cute.
little boy,
like, don't
and
ask me.
he had that look like, you're not gonna beat me down and talk bad to me and then want me to be like, "Oh, I love you." The little boy, she said, "Do you love me?" He said,
That was
Yes,
priceless. He
it
was like, I'm
was
not even
good.
faking it.
and he had his face like, and you could tell, girl, you cut up all the time, and then the way you want to cover it up is trying to talk about love. Like, those don't mix. I
And
love
to
it.
me, if we help that little boy nurture that,
Oh
that is
my
what we want,
gosh.
rather than a child just going along to get along and or feeling the need I gotta please or say something nice because I don't want the teacher to be mad at me. Like that's what we need to cultivate in
Like
our
that little
society.
boy right there. I want him on my team. I
Yep,
want him on my team.
absolutely.
Right.
He'll tell you like it is.
Because he's honest, and the thing about it is, he to me, he was looking like, I'm not gonna lie in order to make you feel good, because you're putting me on the spot, because
But
people will put you on the spot, and a
Mhm.
lot of people cave into that and say, okay, well, everybody else saying they love you, so I guess I'm gonna say it
I
too.
might as well.
Uh-huh.
And he was
But
just
Uh-huh.
like, hey, if I have to miss out on ice cream, pizza, whatever it is that you're selling today, I'm gonna be the one that misses out because I don't really need it and I don't care to have it, because I'm not gonna lie about it. And that's what.
yes, and that's what they were saying. That little boy's gonna go far in life. I can respect that little boy because, again, you don't slap me and then come back and tell me I love you and it's supposed to be okay.
Because what you're doing in that moment is you're teaching the child to lie, first of all, to be
Yes,
dishonest, and
yes.
you're teaching the child to people please. And so here comes back, I say it all the time. Behavior is learned. That little boy grows up to be a people pleaser, and now we're going to be mad at this kid years from now because he's in a codependent relationship. But he learned at a very early age that if he didn't please his teacher,
Right. Because she
whoever,
mad. Like, I don't even know why he went and get that little girl. Because all she do is tell him what to do. Girl, I'm so sick of him and her. He don't call me with all that mess or whatever.
Yep.
But she taught him,
correct, you taught him
You
that when
taught
he was,
him.
and
Or
people
or
don't want to take
now,
ownership of that.
the little boy was like, I don't want to go out with you. Why? Because I don't like you. I
Yeah.
don't want to go out
And
with you.
so that one's gonna see that young man as aggressive, abrasive, and who does he think he is? When in reality, he just knows what he wants. And he's being honest. Why would we hold it against
exactly.
him?
Thank you,
It's
Author Brenda.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But that is so true, and that's why I had to send it to you, to y'all,
yeah,
because
that was great.
it's that taking a stand for what you believe. Because we had
Yeah.
just
It's
talked about
important. It's
stand
important.
on what you believe. I don't care what
No
nobody
matter
else
who else
say.
is around. Exactly.
Stand on you. Stand if your favorite color is red and somebody want to come back and try to change your favorite color, my I don't care what you think about red. Red is a sign of hot, and I don't care.
Who said that? Who told you that? And just because they believe that, what made that right? It doesn't make that right just because somebody else said, well, red means you kind of like, really doesn't? Why?
So now you're changing up because of something somebody else said, not what you said, and definitely not what God said. God did not say that.
And
Because it's
over
somebody
time
else.
you stop having a mind of your own, and you believe it or not become dependent on the opinion of other people, which then influences the decisions you make. And so now you're not even able to make a decision on your own, because now you doubt and question whether your decisions are healthy decisions or not, or if I should
Exactly.
even go with that, or what would this person think. So again,
Or
you're
you go to social
creating.
media to see what the temperature is so you know how to show up in a situation. Oh, let me see if they like this
Yeah.
show. Oh, okay, well, this is the show to be talking about. Have you seen it? No, but I mean, everybody
Yes.
says it's good. And I'm, you fall into the trend of where everybody else is going
And
versus,
you're creating that, and that's what I would like to leave people with today, is realizing you have more power than you recognize, and we need to be more aware of the choices that we're making.
Yeah.
Right, you're choosing to let social media, you're choosing to let these things external of you to have such a significant impact and influence on your life. And the question is why, for what reason? So like Sparkle says, is it for validation? Is
Yeah.
it to be seen? Is it to be center of attention? And if it's any of those things that we've just mentioned, there's healing that is required.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about today on the show, and what we've been talking about all season is there are so many health benefits, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, to healing yourself.
Yeah.
Stop spending your time, your day, and your energy worrying and focusing on all the things that are external of you, and just get up every day and look in that mirror and take a look at what needs to be worked on, and know that God's right there to walk, to hold your hand and walk you through it.
To
come
walk you
on,
through.
mirror talk, look in the mirror
Yes.
and
Look
understand.
in the mirror. Like recognize who she is.
Hmm.
Because when I look in the mirror, I don't see nobody else in this mirror but me.
Correct.
This is who I am. And God, I accept who you have made me. I accept who I am. I take ownership. This hula hoop belongs to me. This is my ownership, because not needing all this validation is coming from saying, God, you don't know what you're doing. God, you
Hmm.
didn't make you don't know how to do it right. So I need to tell this
And
person
how
and tell
can we?
this
Yes,
person.
yes.
So
Well, and then you're not able to receive his unconditional love. And
no.
that means you're not accepting of who God says you are in him. You're not accepting that identity because you're still too focused on, conforming to the identity of society.
Right.
And I understand it takes time. Like some of this maturity, this emotional, it is gonna take some time to get it together.
Yes.
But the beautiful thing is you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to recognize your own self, your own temperature, so that you can do something about it. You can't do
Amen.
nothing about it if you keep on hiding and like, it ain't me, it ain't me. Why me?
Hmm.
Why
Exactly.
me? Why me? Why me? Why not?
Yeah, why not you?
Why not you? Exactly. So we're going to close with this. It says, your emotions are indicators, not dictators. They can reveal what's
That's true.
happening within you, but they should never control your destiny.
Amen.
Emotional intelligence is not about becoming less emotional, it's about becoming more intentional. The more emotionally intelligent you become, the more empowered you become to lead, to love, to forgive, to communicate, to thrive. And that's what it's all about. When we talk about healing for real, emotional intelligence is part of that, because when you can control your emotions, you're controlling yourself. And that means that you don't allow anyone else to dictate or manipulate or control you. And that's
Amen.
superpower. That
That
is
Amen.
where we're
that's the
headed.
superpower.
That's the
And,
superpower.
and don't even try. Look, y'all don't try to keep it 100. You like power. You like having power. You love having power. Like your big controlling self. You know you like the power. You I got the power.
But you know what? I understand controlling, the power to control yourself is the most powerful thing you can do.
Amen.
Most people want to control somebody else and think
Which,
that
which is such an illusion, by the way.
it
It's
is.
delusional thinking, and it's illusion to think that you can control anything external of yourself because
Exactly.
you can't.
So empower yourself, take control of your own power, and lead yourself well. And when you do that, then you can understand that you're being a big contributing factor in the kingdom, in the world, in your
Amen.
community, in your household, by making sure that you do what you need to do for you. And everybody else gets that overflow. And it
Yep.
spills out, and then things will start changing, like we talked about, politically in your communities and, everywhere. But it starts with you. And
Starts with
until you
you.
make that choice and say, you know what, let me be the change I want to see. If you want people to start acting better and doing better, you
You
do
do
that.
better.
Point
Amen.
blank, period. Now, y'all
Amen.
know we're going to be out of here officially. Now, this is it.
Signing
It's
off.
the way she
Signing
said
off.
it. This is it.
This is it.
Signing off.
Look, we were back and forth too. Like, well, should we come back on at least once a week? No, we're out until August, whatever that first Tuesday in August is. So go to YouTube, catch all the videos there.
Binge watch us.
Morning's page. And Facebook, catch the videos there. Go back in and look at what you need to empower yourself, or just practice some of these things. Meditate, sit back, still get up in the mornings and start your day off well by making sure that you're in communication with God. Regulate your nervous system so you're not always, people can't always push that button. Be the thermostat, not the thermometer in your life.
And as I always say, girl, go fall in love with you. Go fall in love with you.
Yes.
I'm telling
Yes,
you,
yes, yes.
when you take out that time to not wait for a hug, but just grab you and hug yourself and hug
I
you
know.
so tight.
Listen,
Girl,
I know that we're out of time, but what you just said, that'll open our conversation in August. You will attract the man of your dreams when you love on you, not the other way around. When you love yourself and you take care of yourself, the man that God has
But
destined for you
it's
will
not
walk right
just
into your life.
attracting a man. It becomes
No.
a magnet. Yeah, no, I know what
Agreed.
you're saying.
Yeah.
All
It
things to
becomes
you.
a magnet.
Yes.
You-
Yes.
Correct.
I attract favor. Why do I attract favor?
Amen.
Because favor is something I'm in love with. I believe when I walk in the store, I'm gonna get favor. I'm gonna find the last or whatever I need. I'm gonna get it.
Amen.
Because it's that part that you love on you. You believe in you so much. Oh, I'm gonna win regardless.
Period. Look, all we do is win,
So-
winning. We're in constant states. We just won. We're winning today, and we're gonna win tomorrow.
Because Amos 9:13. If you want to Bible check me, if you like to Bible check, go to Amos 9:13 through 15. NIV version. Head swimming blessings. Before you can say thank you for one, here comes another one. Here comes another one, and here comes another one.
Facts.
So if you want to, they be like, put a word on it. Amos
There's your word.
9:13 through 15.
There's your word.
Miss Phyllis said, honey, I'll be satisfied with me. Yes. Thank y'all so much for the support all the time, for showing up. We love you. We appreciate you. And know that, honey, be the best you that you can be, and join us back on August the 4th. Until then, we're out. Go ahead, Sparker, hit it.
I believe God. Do you believe God? We believe God. We believe God. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, July the 11th, Farika. July the 11th.
July the 11th. Now you will see a lot of that going on. A lot of promoting. So please help us promote Becoming Her in Tennessee, July the 11th. 7th, 11th? Yeah. See, I got the date wrong. 11th?
July the 11th, yes.
1-1. Mm-hmm. 1-1. July the 11th. Please come out to Become Her. If you're in the Georgia area, it's only 3.5 hours. It might be 3 if you're riding with Angela. But I'm just
2:45. 2:45.
just saying.
2:45.
It depends on who you're riding with.
Take a nap, baby. Look, take a nap and you'll wake up there.
That is
But come
hilarious.
out to becoming her. Keep on following us. We all have a lot of stuff going
Can't wait
on.
to see you. Farika said she'll be
Okay,
there. I was like, can't wait to see her. All right, we out.
we out. Bye.
You ain't gonna say I
Bye.
believe God. You ain't gonna give it to him?
I did.
Oh, did
I
you?
believe God. Do you believe God? We believe God. We believe God. Now turn
Go
us
bird.
off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Yes, yeah.